Hey beer fans, this is Steve Indrehus for Beer City TV, and today we're here at Loveland Ski Area, which is celebrating its 75th anniversary and just happens to be right up the hill from Tommyknocker Brewery in Idaho Springs. Stay tuned for this episode of Beer City TV. Welcome back. This is Beer City Television, Steve Indrehus, and we are on chair number 1 at Loveland Ski Area with Steve from Tommyknocker. Hey Steve.
How you doing?
We're doing really well.
Good.
Beautiful day. Look at it, it's snowing. Can't be better. Why don't you tell us a little bit about you and your relationship with Tommyknocker?
Well, I've been at Tommyknockers now for about 16 years. Early in the 80s, I was an advanced home brewer. Then went professional into the winemaking business for a few years in Oregon, Washington area. Then I did 6 years at Wasatch Brew Pub in Park City, Utah, and also being a ski bum there, part of the job. And then I've been at Tommyknockers now for 16 years and worked my way up to being director of brewing operations.
Wow, that's great. So we're actually going to go up and try to harvest some pine boughs or spruce tips for this very special beer, this Pine Bough Pale Ale that you brewed specially for this occasion. How did you come to the conclusion that you wanted to use that as an ingredient?
Well, pine has been used in beers for hundreds of years, probably even before hops were added for a flavor component. And the real reason for putting them in this beer is to tie it into Loveland Ski Area's 75th anniversary. Here's a good looking tree.
Hey!
You want to get just the light colored tip.
Okay.
And what you can do for the fun of it is taste one of these back here. Taste that. The light colored tip is this year's growth. It's much more fragrant and less bitter.
That's pretty bitter.
Still pretty piney flavor. There's a big difference, especially in aromatic as well.
Uh-huh.
So then what we do is just go through and get just the tips.
Yeah, delicious. All right, so how much of these things do you use, Steve?
Well, we figured out the equation for us for this Pine Bough Pale Ale is 1 gram of pine needles per gallon.
Gotcha.
And so at the brewery, we take off the needles from the stem and macerate a little bit, then add it to the beer.
Well, we've got our pine needles, we've got our tips here, and I really can't wait to try this beer.
Let's give it a try.
All right.
We should have it on tap.
So Steve, you brewed this to celebrate 75 years here at Loveland Ski Area. Talk about your relationship with the ski area.
Well, being 20 minutes down the hill from Loveland, we have a lot of the same business models. You know, we're a smaller operation. This is a smaller, more local ski area.
Right.
We feel the same way. And we've also brewed a beer for them called the Rock House Red for many, many years, 10 plus years. And that's on tap here all the time. And this Pine Bough Pale Ale was just kind of a thank you from us and kind of a collaborative effort to celebrate the 75th anniversary. Cheers. That's good.
Oh, it's beautiful.
One for
That's
you.
lovely. Really lovely how this blends in.
Yeah, the goal is to make it so it works with the hops and the malt and the alcohol, this carbonation, not be overpowering. Want people to enjoy a whole pint of it, not just a sip, not burn out halfway through.
Sure, so it's a great session beer. What do you say, we'll just finish these up? And then I'm really curious, I want to head on down the hill and maybe we get a tour of the brewery. What do you think?
Let's go check the brewery out. Have some beer.
So here we are. We're back down the hill from Loveland Ski Area where we sampled the Pine Bough Pale Ale. Steve, thanks for having us down here. First question for you here. What is a Tommyknocker?
Well, George Jackson discovered gold in 1859, about 100 yards from the brewery in the Clear Creek over here. That started the whole western gold rush in Colorado, and the Cornish miners came over and brought with them a folklore of the Tommyknocker, and it's a little gnomish gremlin creature, played mischievous tricks on the miners, like if their candle got blown out or they couldn't find their lunch pail, they'd blame the Tommyknocker. They'd also leave offerings for the Tommyknockers, and they would knock on the walls and lead them to the boatload of gold.
Wow, cool. And so that became the mascot for the brewery. How old is the brewery? How long have you guys been
17 years the brewery's been here. Okay. I've been here 16.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great. So show me around. Let's take a little tour.
Right over here is the brew house.
Okay.
20-barrel brew house. We brew 3 times a day. We have 40-barrel fermenters, 60-barrel fermenters, and 80-barrel fermenters.
Okay.
All this way.
All right.
And look at this one bubbling down here.
So what's your capacity? What are you making these days? How much?
Well, last year we did 13,000 barrels out of here. We have 2 more fermenters ordered that are going to go right here, which should bring us close to 15,000 barrels in 2013.
Okay, so you're expanding now.
We're expanding. We've pretty much doubled in the past 2 years.
Doubled in the last 2 years. You've been here for 17, and you've doubled in the past 2 years.
Riding the big microbrew craze, of course.
Okay.
The class we're in, the stagecoach and the train, we actually stopped here. This is the edge of the frontier in Roosevelt days, and there's actually in town there's Roosevelt mounts from when he used to come to the edge of the frontier here, because to go any farther west, he had to have an Indian guide. This was like Idaho Springs, was, for many, many years, was the edge of the frontier.
Wow. All right, Steve, so we have seen how you do what you do. Why don't we do a little tasting of what you do?
Sure.
What you do.
It means most of our beers are not in the radical category, more drinkable category. This right here is our Pickaxe IPA.
Okay.
55 IBUs, 6.2% alcohol. It's the kind of IPA you can drink a whole pint of, not just this much. It's a nice drinker.
Okay, cheers.
Cheers.
Delightful.
Yeah.
Very sessionable, exactly.
Kind of beer you can drink a whole pint of.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Last but not least, obviously.
Rye porter.
Okay.
Prospector rye porter, technically. This one, what makes it unique is we're the only ones in the country that import a rye malt they put in here, which is a roasted rye, which has kind of a pumpernickel flavor to it.
Sure.
So when you bite into a piece of dark pumpernickel, it has a kind of a sweet, kind of sour, complex flavor to it.
A very old world flavor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Makes this porter kind of stand out. It's a brown porter. It's not a robust porter. So again, it's the kind of porter you can drink a pint of and maybe another pint of. It's a nice.
Sure.
Kind of coffee, chocolate aroma to it, which is normal.
Yeah. No, that's really, really lovely.
What makes this restaurant successful is our proximity to the recreation opportunities we have, as far as like obviously skiing, which we did today.
Sure.
And then the rafting, zip lines are getting popular, and there's pretty much 4 million people living down in the Front Range, and to get to anywhere around here, they have to drive by this place.
Right.
So this place is slammed and busy on the weekends. Very successful.
That's great. Pine Bough Pale Ale. Yes, please.
Here we go. Woo!
Okay. Well, it's been a great day. We started out skiing up at Loveland and sampling the Pine Bough Pale Ale, which was delightful, and then coming down here and getting this fantastic tour. I want to thank you so much, Steve.
You bet. Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Our pleasure.
Steve Indrehus signing off for Beer City TV. Thanks for watching.